Okay, we have a full set of League One fixtures, so it's going to quickly run through my predictions. Kicking us off, Blackpool take on Reading. Blackpool have improved a bit since sacking Steve Bruce. They're still third bottom. Taking on a Reading side who haven't lost in 4. Still sat in 18th place. I just thought they'd be higher. I think they probably still can make their way up the table. But I'm going to go for a draw in this game. So I've gone for a 1-1 draw. Stockport take on Barnsley. Stockport down into 5th. They've lost their last 2 games. Handsomely beaten by Peterborough 3-0. I think that was last Thursday night. Taking on the Barnsley side, who won their last 2. Thrashed Luton 5-0 at home. So we'll see if they can carry that into their away form. But I do fancy them to win and make it 3 defeats in a row for Stockport. So going for a 2-1 away win. Bradford taking on Exeter. Bradford still in 3rd, no win in 5. 4 draws and a loss. So really not in a hot run of form at all. But taking on an Exeter side who are sat 20th in the table. I don't think they played last weekend. I think it's called off. But yeah, I fancy Bradford to get back to winning ways with a 2-0 home win. Burton take on Leyton Orient. Burton making their way up the table, 3 wins in the last 4. They're in 14th. Leyton Orient just can't seem to get on any sort of run. They're in 16th. A good run. It's so tight. I mean, a good run from any of these teams, they could fire up the league. But yeah, I fancy Burton in this one. So gone for a 2-0 home win. Cardiff take on Mansfield. Cardiff in 2nd. They did lose 2, but they responded well with a 3-1 win at Northampton last weekend. They're going to Mansfield, who have lost their last 2 games in a row. They're down into 13th. Cardiff at home, they should be too strong. So gone for a 3-1 home win. Doncaster take on Peterborough. Doncaster, I think I've said it before, but obviously they had that really good start and they've just been on the slide ever since. They're down into 19th, taking on a Peterborough side that have really picked up, got themselves off the bottom. They're now 4th bottom. They could leapfrog Doncaster with a win, and I think they will. So gone for a 2-1 away win. Huddersfield take on Wimbledon, 8th versus 9th. Huddersfield, again, they don't draw many games. Which it depends which way you look at it. They've won 8 and lost 7. So if they could turn some of those losses into draws, they'd be a bit higher up the league. So a bit inconsistent. Wimbledon just falling down the table. Lost 3 on the bounce. But I think there'll be goals in this game. So I've gone for a 3-2 home win. Lincoln take on Port Vale. Again, another team that's up there in 4th and 1 win in 5. So, and losing 3 of those. So yeah, another team not in a good run of form. And they take on Port Vale, who are bottom, 14 points, 3 points adrift to safety. Just 3 wins in 17. I think it's a good chance for Lincoln to get back to winning ways with a 2-0 home win. Luton take on Bolton. Luton in 7th, Bolton in 6th. I said Luton, they were hammered last week at Barnsley. They did have a home game in the week against Huddersfield and beat them. Bolton, they drew at home to Bradford last week, 0-0. And I think it'll be another, the sort of 2 of the bigger teams in the league. And I think it'll be a tight game. So I'm going to go for a 1-1 draw. Plymouth take on Northampton. Plymouth finally got a win last weekend away at Port Vale, but they had lost 4 of their previous games. So 3 points that they really needed. I feel like they've really got to beat Northampton this weekend. Northampton 17th, just 4 points above them. So that will drag a lot of teams into it if they can get 3 points. And I think they will. I've gone for a 2-0 home win. Rotherham take on Wickham. Rotherham, they're going on an unbeaten run. They're sat in 12th. So, yeah, we'll see how they go. Wickham, they're motoring up the league. They were down there at the start of the season. But another team on an unbeaten run. They're into 11th. So pretty tight between these two. and I don't fancy an unbeaten run to go. So I've gone for a 1-1 draw. And then finally, Wigan take on Stevenage. Stevenage, again, top and weren't on a particularly good run. They did win last time out, got a 1-0 win at Peterborough. I think that was in the week. But yeah, I think if any of these teams at the top could go on a hell of a run, they'd be pretty clear at the top. But as it happens, Stevenage is top by a point. They're going away to Wigan, who are 15th. Unbeaten in 4. I think it'll be a low-scoring game, but I fancy Stevenage to nick it. So I've gone for a 1-0 away win. Those are my predictions for this weekend. Let's see how we get on.